Sorry, we sit filming, yeah.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our latest edition of Music Talks. Those of you who have not yet muted their microphones, please do so, because those of you who know me know that I cannot stand if anybody interrupts me. So, no, just kidding. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Wonderful to see you all, and I actually do see some people. May I introduce the guest of our music talk tonight? Please welcome Daniel Herzog from the Staatstheater Augsburg.
Oh.
You see the waving hand? Daniel and I go back many, many, many years. We were in our first contract together, I shall say. I was a very young singer and he was a young assistant director. So we took our first professional steps together and have since outgrown these children's shoes into different directions. Welcome, Daniel. Thank you for joining us. And the word goes out to you.
Yeah, thank you, Susanne. Thank you for being a guest at your forum, and also to Axel. And hello to everybody on this Thursday evening. And yeah, hello. Okay.
Mute your microphone. Thank you.
Yeah, as Susan says, I started my way as an assistant director. My background is from my home. My mother was an opera singer too, and is for more than 50 years now a voice teacher, private voice teacher in my hometown in Kassel, where I grew up at the theater. And my father was an orchestra musician, a cellist. And so I grew up from very, very, very small in this theater world, and had the chance even as a kid to go to Bayreuth, so on then some point it was clear that I will end up at the theater, and I started then my way as a director, and then I decided 17 years ago that I want to make a switch to the administration to give my practical experience in the organization of theater. So I did my way as a Chefdisponent, who is the head of organization department. And since the last 5 years, I become my first position as an opera director in Augsburg, in Bavaria. And so my first responsibility for young singers and for an ensemble, to create an ensemble. And I think what might be, as I understand from Susan and Axel, you are all on your way in this business, let's say. Yeah, I mean, to be a singer, an opera singer, it is a business, and you need this way if it works very well. It is a long way, as a career, not only for 10 years, not only for 15 years, it's your whole life as a singer. And there is a lot of, maybe things that has nothing to do only with quality of your voice, but there are also some maybe dangerous traps we might talk this evening, where a career can be very short because of wrong decision, and it's not always a straight way, sometimes you have to make decision: are you going left or are you going right? And so maybe from my experience, and we find tonight a way to give you maybe some idea what it might be good to take care of at the beginning, especially at the beginning. And I have good experience of that with students in Munich and also in Stuttgart, and I've been also in the jury of the Bundeswettbewerb Gesang. So for me, important is always that the singer, to give the singer, to put the singer on the first position, because every doing is meant to be from people, from you, coming from the voice, what is on stage. But this is not always what opera directors maybe see, or other people, or conductors, But maybe if that is okay, Susanne and Axel, maybe we talk of some basics for everyone. Also, I think, yeah,
Yes.
I think, what is it all about? Yeah, as a singer. Yeah, also I have a few points there. Also, first of all, it has to do with emotion. Yeah, Emotionalität, emotion, with to be a good musician. Yeah, Musikalität, how you able to work with your instrument. Yes, then the expression, which of course is a developed process as a young singer when you start till you become a professional, and of course then the size of your voice, yeah, which is of course as a beginner the size is maybe already from the beginning very big, and or some voice needs to develop. This is someone told me a voice is like a good wine. Yeah, you leave the bottle lying and it's getting better and better, but it depends if you're a soprano, if you're a tenor, if you're a mezzo, if you're an alto, if you're a bass. Yeah, also you can't say everything fit for every Stimmfach. Yeah, and this is the main point. The Fach, you know, everyone knows what Fachbezeichnung is. It's a typical German word. I don't know if it's in English, Susanne. Fach?
Well, we don't have an equivalent. We use Fach, although, I mean, you ask 20 people about the Fach of the singer and you will have 20 answers probably, right? So
Yeah.
guys, note that on your pads for the question and answer session, if you would like Daniel to explain more about the Fach, this is the moment to let us know. I would like to know more about your view of the Fach system. Do you think it's still up to date or is it outdated?
I think it's important to have this Fach, even as a singer, before you come in the opera, to judge, okay, welches Fach singe ich? Yeah, if I'm, for example, a soprano, I mean, normally we have the four Fächer, right? Four Fächer, we think we have sopran, tenor, the bass, and the mezzo. But when you see all the Zwischenfächer, as we call, you end up in 25 Fächer. 25, because it depends on your age, on the partie that you're learning, what kind of partie it is that you're going to sing. So, and this depends then also that you might sing a lighter Fach, where as a beginner, and when you develop in the repertoire of an opera repertoire, not every singer can sing everything. And this is very important to find out with a teacher, for example, when you're starting as a professional, welches Fach, as we said, are you at the moment? Yeah, it's always a thing where you have to be in a person, and I think a singing teacher is a person of trust, because what is the main problem of your art? You can't hear yourself. Of course, you have techniques at our time now. I mean, when we started before, it was okay, you have a recorder and that thing, and now you have your handy and everything. But still, you need extra ears as a singer, yeah, because you don't get a feeling what you really in 100% natural you sound, what we are enjoy when you're singing, and when you sing good, we enjoy, but you don't know what we hear. So this is very important always, and to have through your whole singer life someone who knows your voice, who gives you feedback, and gives you the self-confidence. This is very important, yeah, because sometimes maybe someone gives you an advice to start with a partie too early, yeah, with a difficult partie, and then it's like sport, you know, it's like sport, the muscle. I mean, you have as a singer, you need a constant training. As a ballet dancer too, it's training. You need the stamina, especially as a beginner. Yeah, so this is very, very important. If you looking now for a job, talking now that some theater is looking now for a soprano. Okay, but what kind of soprano? Yeah, are they looking some coloratura soprano or some lyric soprano or what? Yeah, so of course, and this is now the point where you have also to see now when you when you doing audition, let's say when you're going to audition, it's always important to know for what you're going to sing. Yeah, is it something for a fest contract? Also that mean that you be part of the ensemble, or is it a guest contract? But the main thing is, and this is advice I would like to give you, is to get a job, any job, you need to find, I call it a bravour aria, as an aria which shows the best of your voice. It has nothing to do that, let's say for Gilda, as a young singer, maybe Gilda is too early, but if you're able, and Caro Nome, for example, is good to show, and you sing this aria, yeah, this is the key opener for more, because the listeners in the audience, like opera directors, conductors, and people, intendanten, people who have to judge you, they want to hear, and they want to hear, of course, things because what they know. So it's absolutely the wrong way to think you're going into an audition to do art, to do, I put it on this way, a modern piece which no one knows, because then you have trouble either with a pianist, yeah, who doesn't know to play it, yeah. It has to do with your natural nervosity, to be nervous, yeah. And so my advice here is to find the aria or the two arias where if Susan Schimmer calls you at 12 o'clock in the night and say, sing, you can sing that, because you have the self-confidence and the trust. It doesn't matter what's happened. What if, even if the pianist collapse, you go through with this aria, yeah? And also, if this aria shows the best of your voice, then automatically we down in the audience want to hear more. You understand? Yeah. Also, this is the thing you have to. And it helps you also against to be nervous, because this is normal. Yeah. And the main thing is what I see is you need to get the attention. I mean, tension is good, but not if you, okay, I have an audition and now I stand there and so with an aria that you know, yeah, it's helping yourself.
It kind of, if I may add to this, if we say that, of course, tension in the body and the voice is not something we're looking for. If we would replace that and we would say some tonus or some energy, if all of you young singers out there, hopefully have experienced that in one way or the other. There are pieces that immediately appeal to you when you sing them, and then there are others that just make you go like, nah. And it's not always that those pieces might not become your signature roles, but there is something intuitive happening in the body and also in the system, in the connection between the body and the voice. So if you feel at home in an aria, it's worth investing the time to own it, because this is what Daniel was saying, if I'm correct. You're not going to be a horse in the circus. You are going there and you are showing yourself with a music that allows you to show who you are and not what you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding out about this during your study time, during your school time. So be once again encouraged to take a risk and to go wrong. That's what teachers are there for, to help you pick yourself up again. We will do that if we can, okay? I rest my case and give the word back to Daniel.
And what Daniel also pointed out, which I think is very, very important, the aria you choose to present yourself is something that, as you said, even if the pianist falls out, you should be able to go on with. And it happens all the time that pianists fall out for 100,000 reasons, because they have been playing 30 arias after each other and they just have a blackout. or because they've never played the aria you're presenting. And that can be a very simple thing. I had a pianist who fell out 50 years ago in Don Ottavio, Il mio tesoro, the last aria you would expect a person to fall out, but she did. And that's it. So you really have to be able to with a storm next to you and an earthquake, to go on with it in a very stable and auto-depending way. Can you say that, auto-depending, in the way that where you only depend
On
of
your,
yourself?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, also it's exactly what you both said, and I think to choose, also to choose the right repertoire. Yeah, also for me, someone told me if you want to hear what a voice sound, what is the color, what is everything, I always choose in auditions Mozart. Mozart shows everything. It shows if a voice is healthy, if a voice has the breathing. So I think a Mozart aria should be always there, because it's in any, I think from my experience, I mean, Susanne, Axel, you're both singers, you know it better probably, but for all the development, it shows for each development, even if you're a younger singer or a beginner or a middle age, you find always good repertoire in Mozart opern.
Herr Operndirektor, I have a question. You, who knows me very well and who knows my voice very well, which Mozart aria would you expect me to audition with?
Well, this is the of course, if that, I mean, if we're looking for a dramatic role like Elettra or whatever, or from the Giovanni Diven, probably there. But that's clear. If you have a dramatic voice like you have, even as a young singer, of course, then not. Yeah, then for you as a voice that you have, you go, of course, immediately in the more Italian or in the heavier Fach. Yeah, also this is, I said, this is a thing you should talk with your teacher. Also even the preparation, as in the preparation of an audition, not only to see, let's say, the theater, they're looking for a Pamina. Yeah, I give this as example. Pamina, okay. Yeah, of course, most of the sopranos think then, well, we go with the famous G-Moll arie. Yeah. Also, of course, you can do that, but in the G-Moll arie, you have, even in the evening, when you already be under a director, it's a complicated thing to get the emotion in an audition that this Pamina needs to bring up in this area. So my advice always, even if it's not for Pamina, don't start with the G-Moll arie, because this is very hard to get the connection, and this is to get the job. You need a connection, yeah, to find the connection. And after what Axel said, sometimes the directorium in an audition, maybe you're sometimes 20, 30 people, yeah, your ears, and then a G-Moll aria, and you know this piece, and this is very hard, and this is unfair on some point. But then choose a better aria, and after that, yeah, and this is a pain point where I said a Strategie. Eine Strategie. Strategie ist Englisch, ne? Versteht man international. In the audition, if you know exactly what the house is looking, and you prepare in, let's say, 3-4 arias, yeah? Good is to different styles of arias, yeah? And of course, if you wanted a job in Germany, if you want a Festvertrag contract in Germany, you need to have a Deutsche arie. This is important, because people in the ensemble, they want to know how is your German. Yeah, so this is also, you should have different thing, but still remember, you wanted to start with your bravour arie. It doesn't matter what they're looking for. How did you get it? But sometimes you come on stage, and then downstairs they said, okay, what is your name? My name is Madame Schimak. Okay, what do you have? Yeah, I have this and this and this and this. Then they said, well, we don't know. Okay, start with number 3. But this is not your bravour aria. So try to be the leader on this. And this means you come on stage and you say,
I will.
hello, guten Tag, my name is Susanne Schimak, and I would like to sing the aria, let's say eben jetzt your Bravour aria, ja, aria, what I said, Rosenarie oder keine Ahnung, oder Manon Lescaut, ja, I would like to start with this, and further, I brought you also this and this and this. So with this little trick, you already, and no one will say, okay, because, I mean, for me, because I'm also married to a singer and I know what a singer feel, yeah, I always said, what would you like to start with? But this is not this is not always happened, yeah, not always happened, because for me it doesn't matter. I want to hear always two things, two arias. And when if he wants to start with the first one, the singer choose always, but I choose then the second one. Yeah. So what I mean is, you come on stage, and this is also see it as a performance. Train also then when you come on stage, even the preparation. Also, one thing is also important. Maybe come later on that is. I know it's to get this job, it's a lot of time. Yeah, I mean you have to travel to the theater, maybe in a foreign country to fly. Yeah, take that serious. As what Susan said, it's not only working on the aria; it's also a preparation for an audition. To be in this 5-6 possibility. I mean, the thing is, why it's so important and why I keep going with this Bravour aria. It could be happened that you fail after one aria and someone said, thank you, next. This risk you don't want to take. So my advice here also, if it's possible, and I know it's an investment also in money today, but it should be good to travel the day before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to the theater, to get in the hotel, wherever, to be fresh for an audition. Yeah, to be fresh and to be focused. And what is in this business, and Susanne and Axel a long time ago, singers, what is the difficult thing? It's the traveling. Yeah, you are in airplanes, you're in travels, it's dry. Everything what's as a young singer, you not notice. But during the time, yeah, you notice to what it mean to dry out with your voice. And this is it's, you have to see it like a sport, yeah, and get early up. But then in the preparation, get an idea, how do you want to present yourself? It has also to do with the dress, yeah. Also, what kind of thing? Also, what should I wear? And I think not to be overdressed. Yeah, it should be a neutral. What I would advise. It doesn't matter if it's a skirt or if it's pants or if you have eyes. That doesn't matter. You should feel comfortable. Yeah, you should feel comfortable. And here we come through. For me, first of all, is important the voice. If someone is small, tiny, a bigger lady, for me it doesn't matter, and it should also doesn't affect you. Also never let anyone tell you to be judged by your, was ist Äußeres, Susanne?
Your externals, your
yeah. I mean,
the way you look.
Yeah, the way it look, because it's about your voice first of all. Yeah, you should be always judged by your voice, and this don't get verunsichert oder was verunsichert?
yeah, don't become insecure. Don't
Yeah,
get
insecure by anyone judging what it is. Also, that's very important. It has to do also with how you're on stage. And of course, I mean, for every singer, even after 10, 15, 20, 30 years, I don't know anyone who likes to do auditions.
And I think actually, as you get older, it gets worse, because I'm just speaking for myself here, because, you know, you realize all the stuff that can go wrong, because maybe it has gone wrong before, or you've seen it go wrong in other people. And also it you know, there's more stuff that depends on it. When I was young, I thought, why is everybody so upset? It's a big game. I mean, what's the big deal here? If it's not this job, it's the next one. But, you know, after a while, you will not feel that way anymore. So that's also a way of, as Daniel said, the big word is, one of the big words is strategy.
Yeah.
If you know that you have one piece that makes you feel at home in your body, in your voice, and also in the new hall, in the room, which you are not familiar to, you know, if you just want to go in and check out, okay, what is the acoustical situation here? Because not every theater gives you sound back. It's perfect to have a piece that that puts you at ease. If I was auditioning for Pamina and I would start with Pamina, it's easy for the panel to say, thank you, we've heard what we wanted to hear. If I start with, I don't know, Liu, I know if they want to cast a Pamina, they're going to ask for the Pamina aria. So it's not rocket science, you know. You don't even have to be super smart like Axel. I can also come up with this thought. So awesome. So Daniel, would you say, if I may add that question, you said, well, the people in the panel, the professionals in the panel, the conductor, possibly the stage director, they would love to hear something they know, something they recognize.
Yeah. Yeah, because it makes them unsecure too. Yeah, and I had it sometime. There was a Canadian singer did audition, and she did Poulon, no? Because it's a famous composer in Canada, of course. Yeah, the pianist. She had luck that the pianist could play it, but also always down. Also we are at the panel. We wanted to judge on main thing, and especially in Europe, also Austria, Switzerland, and Germany, you have the sogenannte Kernrepertoire. Yeah, also this is always the thing where you always bring the 10 most famous composers. Also this is the thing where we always wanted to judge by things that we know. Yeah, and not what things that we don't know, because or a modern piece. Yeah, this is so that's why it's important also to have a repertoire where as I said, where we can hear what is your voice able. And as I said at the beginning, it has nothing to do. Like, for example, you're a young lyric soprano, yeah, and we have Mimi La Boheme, yeah. Mimi has in this whole opera very lyrical moments, yeah, and also very dramatic moments. So I would never let under 30-year-old soprano to do Mimi from the first time. But if you sang her first aria, yeah, which is more lyric, you have also to choose by just the aria, yeah, because if you don't hurt yourself and the aria shows what your voice is transporting, then it's okay. Yeah, then we see, this voice is able to sing, and it could be in a few years a Pamina. Yeah, this is the thing. You don't start with an Abigail. Yeah, even when you're a dramatic voice like Suzanne. So you would go a step back yet. Yeah, also I mean, you can sing Visidate. Yeah, but Visidate is not Tosca. Visidate is a tiny little thing. Yeah, it's nice to show, but so as I said, the important thing, and because an audition is always eine Momentaufnahme, Susanne. It's always it presents
Snapshot on the situation.
On the situation, yeah. This is always shows at the moment what is, and that's why we wanted to know if a voice is fit in the ensemble, fit in that what we're planning. Yeah, these are the points what we want to know in an audition. And that's why it's so important also to have it. And one advice also, when you're in contact with a theater, yeah, make sure that, as Axel said, the Pianisten, you don't know always if you get time for a sogenannte Verständigungsprobe, a rehearsal with the pianist at the theater, yeah, because sometimes you have to wait and you don't, and maybe you get just 10 minutes. So here also an advice: ask the künstlerisches Betriebsbüro, the artistic who organized the audition. You want to let the pianist know what you're going to prepare. Yeah, send them the score. Ask them if you want to sing 4 arias, 5 arias you prepared. Yeah, and let them give the score, so that you hope the pianist is know it. But this is also what I said in this challenge. You have to try everything to be a winner and to win. And you have take any, I mean, you have to limit the risk to fail. And even when we had that so many times that a pianist who doesn't know the tempo of an aria, he corrected, and of course we hear and know that sometimes the pianist has to fail. I mean, sorry, I mean, if there are down outside now some pianists, I mean, there are a lot of very, very good colleagues, but it's happened. It's natural that this happened. So the second thing is, you send what you're going to audition. Then be in time at the theater. Be in time at the theater, even to get time with the pianist, yeah? And ask before how many singers are there. Yeah, why? It's a different. I mean, if there are 4 singers, if there are 10 singers, or if there are 20 singers, why is it important to know? Because if you're counting, I count always 10 minutes for one person. So that means in an hour, 4, 5 people. So if you have 10 people, 15 people, maybe you have from the warm up that you warm up your voice, and you have to wait maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to come then to get your chance. So this is very important. And also, I would say, try not to be always the first, not always the first, but give them a chance to open the ears, to get in also in this competition. Always keep water with you. The driest places in the theater are the stages. Yeah, the stage is dry, the rooms are dry. Also, always, you need always to have water with you, and don't be shy also to take the bottle with you on stage. Yeah, keep it then by the piano. And also between arias, sometimes it depends if you're having a very dramatic aria. Sometimes if the conductors or the opera directors are nice, they ask you, can you sing the second aria right after, or do you need a break? That's up to you. Yeah. One point I missed is also why it's important to start with your bravour aria. I repeat that. I hope you recognize, yeah, because I find it a very important thing. It has also to do with acoustic. You came for the first time on this theater stage, and every theater stage in the whole world are different and has probably acoustic you don't know. So with an aria that you can sing at 12 o'clock in the night, you can check out the acoustic. Yeah, the acoustic of the room, okay, yeah, because you know this aria so well, so it doesn't matter if there are curtains who suck the sounds or anything. If you feel self-confidence, you sing this aria. So this helps you too for getting second or third aria. Yeah, also, and one last thing, also an advice to be successful in an audition is, if you are sick, don't do audition. Never. Because first impression it's always there, and no one want to hear an excuse. If it's happened, it's happened. And it's better than to say, even when you're, sometimes it happened in theater, you know, you're getting a cold, you don't know, but then there will be another chance. Yeah. An audition has nothing to do with the performance, where you maybe has to save a thing, but my advice, really cancel an audition if you're not well. Yeah.
So everybody get a tattoo with that one, no?
Yes. I had a question for Daniel. Daniel, what's the importance of operetta repertoire if you come to the theater in Germany with your 4 or 5 arias? Is it a good idea to have an operetta aria in there, or is that also old-fashioned?
No, no. I think it's a very good question. No, I think this should shows the flexibility. Also, especially in Germany, also in Austria, also in Swiss, also in the European, in France, it might be different because they have the Stagione system. Yeah, also everyone knows. Then you hired people just for a short time of rehearsal, and then you after 1 month, 5 shows, it's finished, and then the hired next singers. But in Germany we have repertoire. Das heißt, we have the Abonnentensystem where we plan 7 for season 7 new productions or 10, or we have repertoire. So we need singers in an ensemble who can sing this and this and this and this and this. And also, it's not always opera. The operatic, the classic operettes like Merry Widow or the Fledermaus, it's still there, or die Deutsche Spieloper. Yeah, also you should be prepared for everything.
And if I may just add a little something here, and Daniel, you tell me to shut up if you need me to shut up. Augsburg, for example, does every year in the summer an open air production of a big musical, of a big operetta. So to take that as an example, it could happen to you that you are there to sing the operatic repertoire, and you will be singing Maria and West Side Story at the end of the season, for example. Now, is that something to make you go, oh my God, I just do opera? Then you might just, want to reconsider. This is very important. And may I add a question to this? How important is for you, and that goes along the lines of what Axel was asking, if somebody brings an operetta aria and you said, yeah, it shows the flexibility, it not only shows the vocal flexibility, it also shows the playfulness and the expressiveness, right? Because we were having a little pre-production talk, and the first word that came out of Daniel Herzog's mouth when we were discussing key competences for singers, or actually, I give that to you. What do you think the 3 first points of key competence were that Daniel Herzog mentioned when we spoke? Who says it's the voice? I can see you, Okay, I see one. Who says it is your booty? Well, the first word he says was emotion. First word was emotion. Second word was musicianship. Third word was expression. Now you guys, okay? So back to my intended question. Do you expect to see other things in the operetta in terms of in regards to stage performance? Or do you also expect your auditioning singers to give you an idea of what they could be able to do when put into a production? Do you want a Carmen to bring props? Do you want, what would you like to see?
Well, this is always, it's a good question because it's always the thing, what you're doing. Are you overacting an aria? Yeah. Also the main thing is it has nothing to do with action to be there. But on the other hand, that what I mean is it's a natural thing. If everything fit perfect and you sang an aria, which I mean, I have to say, I mean, I'm not a teacher. I don't give technical advice. But as a director and the people who knows is singing is not here. Singing is the whole body. You are always there. So be always clear when you're singing Carmen, for example. Yeah. What is the situation, or any aria? What is the figure? What is this character that I'm going to sing now in this aria? In what kind of mind and situation is she? before the aria, during the aria, and after. This will affect automatically your aria, yeah? And for me, always important is eyes contact, to look, also, where do you sing? And the main thing is you sing here, camera, yeah? You're not here, there. Always send, pick someone in the audience. You're not singing for yourself, yeah? And of course, then is the mixture to, of course I want to see, if you say, when you have a baritone and he sing Figaro, Barbier von Seville, then you want to, of course, to see how he is. You don't want to see him like as a stick, yeah? And by Carmen, it has to do something, yeah. For example, what this woman is in the situation when she try to contact, to be with Don Jose. So this is always a thing. Of course, you should move on stage. And for the operatic thing, yeah, if we have a soubrette who's going to sing an Adele, for example, yeah, and Fledermaus, of course, I want to see expression, what she sees, what she feels in the face, yeah. Or if you have Freischütz, yeah, Entchen, for example, yeah. Also this is also a thing. Also, if there are the lyric soprans here, yeah, it's also a thing talking about Fach, yeah. In the last years, Entchen is always, for last years, it's a Soubrettfach, but it's not. It's a full Sopranfach, and with an Entchen aria you can show a lot. So this is also a thing. What shows in the aria you can show in this, what an Entchen sing in Freischütz. You can show, of course, your acting skills. Yeah, you make good points for that. So this is all this. On the other hand, what you said, and theater should be choose the voice that he hires, what he want to use her or him, yeah. And of course, and this is also important maybe, as a young singer, for example, on what kind of theater I do my audition. As you know, probably, also in Germany, you have different sizes of houses. You have A houses, yeah, as Munich, Hamburg, yeah, the big houses, because this size, it's not only the audience size, yes, too, but also the orchestra size. In A houses, you are facing with your little tiny chords here. You're facing sometimes maybe more than 90 musicians, yeah. And then you have the B houses, which can also be big houses, less orchestra maybe, but still. And then you have C houses, where you have 50 musicians. The size are, you have an auditorium maybe for 600 people, and you have D houses. They have auditorium for 400 people. What I mean with that is, this has to be also clear for your decision if you're going somewhere fest as a fest singer, in what kind of size. Because, of course, in a smaller house, as we said, as a beginner, as a beginning lyric soprano, you can sing, as we said, Überfach. As you can sing maybe
larger roles.
Yeah, larger roles than in a bigger house. Because in a bigger house, you don't have the stamina. You need to find a rhythm. You need to find your condition. Yeah, it's different if you come from school, student. You have much more resting time. But as a professional, you might have in the morning rehearsal till 2, and in the evening a performance, and then the next morning a rehearsal. Also, at worst, I mean, of course, if someone take care of voices, he would say, okay, I do that with my singers. If someone has a big role in the evening and they said, sorry, I'm in a production, in a new production, and so on the day of the show, I speak with them before the season about that, but this is not the usual case, yeah. So this is also important. And then if you're getting a fest contract and you're happy about that, and then ask how many roles you have to sing. Yeah, I have, and you know, in the repertoire, you have main roles, you have middle roles, and you have small roles. But let's say in an opera house where you have 10 operas in a season, yeah, and they said you have 10 roles as a beginner, then think a season goes from September till July. Yeah, a season normally goes over 10 months. When you're counting now a rehearsal period of 6 weeks, then you have performances. Then starting your second new production, your third new production, your fourth new production. And you're still in the repertoire where you have to sing. Tell me, when is the possibility to learn the repertoire?
To digest, especially as a beginner.
Exactly.
Your experiences.
Yeah. I mean,
let's talk about. Sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. No, just to finish one thing, because you have to as a beginner, you need time, especially for eine neue Partie, a new role, to get it in your voice. And this sometimes you can't count if it's I don't know, 2 months, sometimes 3 months, 4 months. Yeah, it depends on the role, on the composer. Yeah, the singers, Axel and Susanne, can give their the advice or how long this takes sometimes. Yeah, but this you have also to think of when you're getting on some theater. You always, or your agent or whoever has to ask. What kind of Partien, how many I have to sing, yeah? Also this is what I mean at the beginning. These are the dangers, what I see in our business, that you have to face them as a young singer, and you know how loud an orchestra could be. You know that more than 100 decibel is a jumbo jet, and an orchestra could be much more of this. And this is what can really damage a voice in the early years, because you are forced. And if you try to force your voice to come through, or to put everything, let's say a butterfly, yeah, in the age of 30 years, it makes no sense. So this is yeah,
something I would like to get in there, because now Daniel created the scenario for us. A season has 10 months. If you're supposed to sing 10 roles, that would mean you would have 4 weeks per opera role. But now it's not going to be one opera, one opera, one opera, one opera. The reality is you will be singing performances. I'm making this up now. Daniel, what was our first season? You would be singing performances of Zauberflöte. You would be rehearsing Rosenkavalier. You would be preparing Götterdämmerung. In the meantime, there is a gala concert and a New Year's concert and a benefits concert, and then your body, your system will not be able to digest one role at a time. You would be doing a lot of stuff at the same time. Now, we agree, if we go back to the idea of sports, it's not a bad thing if you're a tennis player to do a bit of swimming and to do a bit of running, but you want to have a choice and you want to be able to pace yourself. I don't know whom of you has read this study that was made by the Bertelsmann Stiftung in Germany about young opera singers. Daniel also has a say in that. He is speaking in that study about the so-called wear and tear. You know, you are being used and you're being disposed of. Not necessarily everywhere, not necessarily because people don't mean you to do any harm, but Daniel, the people we are auditioning for, of course, we as young singers assume that the people we will be auditioning for know what they're listening for, know what they're assessing. We assume that they're competent and have a certain wisdom in our art. Is that the reality?
Unfortunately not. This is also a big change, and that's why I said, as a singer, you need to have 2 people who knows you and who can you trust to talk about it? Unfortunately, I must say, from my experience, the judgment of a voice of a singer is often and many times, also in big houses, is wrong sometimes, and it's also because also conductors or musical directors don't know the repertoire. Yeah, they don't know what the need of a singer is because they are not a singer. Maybe they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge, and so it's very important sometimes also. It's the same, I have to say, with a teacher. If a singing teacher, if you feel that something hurts, then it might be also to say to a teacher, sorry, it doesn't fit. And that sometimes happened also after 4 years. Yeah. And then normally if a teacher appreciated and be wanted your best, he said, okay, then try maybe some other technique. This has also, look, this is a life. What you're doing is life. It's an organism. It's nothing stucking in. And what we try to say is, it has a lot to do with responsibility. You have a lot of responsibility, and but you need also to find ways to protect yourself. I mean, it should be. I mean, we try not to see this business negative, but from our experience, is it there are so many risks, and we have seen so many times people and also very famous singers who started very beautiful and who were forced because, of course, when you're in a certain range and of course CDs and whatever, and they try to force in to sing über Fach, yeah, also to sing repertoire which they shouldn't sing, then the career is finished after 10 years maybe. And this is what we don't want.
I would like to ask you something. I happen to know that you have in your ensemble a very beautiful, big, lush mezzo-soprano, low mezzo-soprano voice with a lot of oomph. And I also happen to know that your conductor is in favor of another kind of sound for particular roles. Is this a reality that for a young singer, for example, that you have been hired after an audition, yet your boss is trying to get you to do something that you would rather not do vocally? How to behave? Do you need to say, well, no, I'm going to try to talk about me, you know? So you said, I need a Mozart aria. So I have been hired by you. And in the second season, you tell me, Suzanne, you're the mezzo of the house. You're going to sing Cherubino. What am I to do? Am I supposed to go to see a teacher and say, now I'm going to have to make this work? Or would you prefer me to come to you and say, Daniel, I've tried. It's not for me. Can we please find a solution? What can I do to make the situation better?
Yeah, it's exactly, first of all, I think always to go to the musical head of the musical department. Also, that's what I mean. Never can tell you, also no one can tell you to force you to sing what you can't sing. Yeah, this is a very it's a thing what you have to learn. Also, if someone is interested in people and we have to, maybe before I answer exactly your question, Susan, you have to see sometimes from all the art disciplines, a singer, yeah, between an actor or a dancer, they can express themselves very easily. As a singer, you have first of all to learn the notes. You have to learn the score text. Then you be told from a director how to move, what to do. Then, very important, you have someone, the conductor, who gives you the tempo or who told you how to breathe and who slow you or who push you or fast you. And then on the fifth point comes your personality. So this is very, very, let's say, a straight jacket. Yeah. Also till it came at the end that you give your personality in. And so I think it's very important. If you don't feel well, or you decide with your teacher, this Cherubino, of course, I mean, with a big voice, yeah, to make it tiny and to be a light Cherubino, it makes no sense, yeah. So, and even when then the conductor said, well, Susanne Schimak, we hired you, you must sing that. And then you will sing it with your full dramatic voice. Then the conductor said, shh, shh, shh. Hello, I have a Mozart orchestra, no one can hear it. Then they said, well, that's not my problem. I'm here with my voice.
Did you hear that all? So what you might hear, and all of you who know me, you know that that's a topic that is very dear to me and very important to me. Also, how to take care of big voices who kind of have to find a way to park themselves before they have turned into wine, as Daniel said. You will hear possibly somebody say, "Don't, it's too much voice. Why don't you do less? Give less voice, do less." Well, you know what that's going to do to your instruments. So your first responsibility is towards yourselves and towards your instrument, and not to make the conductor happy. He's your boss, yes, but he's not in your body, we hope. Okay?
I would like to add something, Suzanne, because you say, of course, it's dangerous and unproductive for a bigger voice to try to make itself light. At the other hand, as a lighter voice, you will often be seduced by conductors to sing bigger stuff, and they will promise you that they will keep the orchestra down. And then all of a sudden, you change from being Barbiere Siviglia, all of a sudden you come in Rigoletto, and you notice that when you are singing as a tenor, and they try to keep the orchestra down, that you have all the violoncelli playing the same melody you're trying to sing. And you're hopelessly lost because the conductor won't keep it down.
And sometimes, I mean, they between the rehearsals and the performances, stuff happens. Conductors also don't live in the vacuum. Neither do orchestra musicians. So it might happen that they play Barbiere one evening, and then they do the Ring in 1 week, and they will come up with, the music also does something inside of them. So it just makes sure. I think this is something super beautiful that just happened. We have sort of shed a light on the both big possible scenarios. You can either be seduced to sing too big, or you can be seduced too small. What it comes down to is, again, learn to be the expert for your own instrument. Your instinct, your vocal instinct, your physical instinct, your mental instinct, is there a mental, your instinct is there for a reason. Technique should not replace your instinct. Technique and instinct should go hand in hand. So if a red warning light flashes inside of you and you're feeling certain things, listen, take precautions, be smart. Do you know what the average career span of an opera singer in Germany is at the moment? Open your mics and tell me. Wild guesses.
11.
We have 11. Writing. Any more opinions?
5.
20.
How much?
20.
15.
Who said 5?
Amy did.
That is the average career span. Yes, I see Clara. Clara, hi. We don't know each other, but I see your eyebrows going like. So, guys, then if that's what it's going to be, either you make plans now to sing for 5 years and get married to a rich dude and have 16 children, or you make plans.
It's in a way a good plan, the rich dude.
Yeah, but I tried to marry you. Did you? So here I am still singing.
Aachen, we are not bringing up the Aachen story again.
Anyway, so I have been turned down by AXA. That's why I have to, sell my wisdom. But in any case, make sure your career is longer than 5 years. And if it takes you a couple of months or years or a couple of auditions longer to get a foot into the door. It might not be because you suck at what you're doing. It might just be because it's not the right moment yet. Read the biographies of many famous singers, Joyce DiDonato, read them. It was not, oh, I walked in and they loved me, for most people, okay? So this is also something I would like to bring up. What about determination and endurance? You have to have a long breath, not only in the phrases, but also in making another attempt. And giving up is not an option. Is that something you would agree on? Or would you say, well, make yourself a plan and kind of set up a number of years you're going to give to yourself, and if it hasn't happened by then maybe you should go and do something else.
But Susanne, that sounds, of course, now very scary because 5 years. I mean, we know that the ballet dancers investing much more in their training, and the career finished mid-30. But I mean, we should, on one hand, we should see really the positive thing that the enjoyment that you should have, what you give, what you bring. What we try to say is that it is on this way. Also, if you try to take care, and this has to do with protection. You need to be protection for your voice, and this is also it's then your decision if you smoke or if you drink or if you're having party before a show, yeah, or if you're going. Also, es ist fast was wie ein Gelübde. What do you say? Gelübde, like a non.
You know, you promise
Oh,
to a vow. You
Yeah.
promise that to your instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also make the decisions. As I said, you should always ask what is in a house when you're in an ensemble, because this is the main thing. You should go in an ensemble, and normally if someone hires you, then you're starting with smaller roles and then growing up, but always ask in how many productions I am, and this is important for a beginner, and what kind of roles are wanted the house to sing me. And normally, you know that a house, I mean, the normal state theater, the smaller houses, they finish their planning in the beginning of the year for the next season. So there is time to understand, but you should see here in my ensemble. Also, I try to look that. You have from 5, we have 5 to 6 new productions, and that a singer is of course he has a bigger role, then the next time he has a smaller role, or he has a free production. Also, this we try to find, because you need also a resting period after you have a big role in the evening, and you should make clear that to the house too. So you should be in dialogue, and don't worry about what did I say? To be sound difficult, yeah, or the diva attitude, the divo attitude. No, when it's hers, yeah, Pavarotti was difficult, or Birgit Nielsen, or some of famous names are difficult. No, they did it to do the best and on the stage, to give the best on the stage, and this is what is about it, yeah. And you should, and if someone tell you, well, we don't care if you sang the day before or the same day, we want that you rehearse, then because of that, what Susan said, then maybe you should say, look, if you don't care about me, then I have to care for myself, yeah. And also then the point when you're sick, sometimes, yeah, you don't feel well during the afternoon, you have in the evening a big role. I mean, normally you should, I handle it from the beginning, also in the administration. I wanted to know when someone is not well, because I knew what it is that many singers don't trust to tell the management when they're not well, because the management is panicking. Oh God, what we going to do? Which is rubbish. In Germany, it's rubbish. In the European system, it's rubbish, because if main repertoire is there, you can get guests anytime. So it's no point to pressure someone. But the point is that the singer don't say it before a few days of a performance if you're not well. He waits till the last end because he hopes he's getting better, and then he finally call at 12, and then everyone is pissed off why he calling at 12 on the same day of a show. So from this point I said, yeah, let me know, then we see what you feel, if you're having a cold or what is going on, or if you see is a possibility that you'll be fit for the show. Maybe, as we said, of ice legen, on ice, we call someone to cover it up, to be prepared. And this is dialogue it should be, but it isn't. I know that.
There are versions, there are ways to deal with this kind of thing. I'm not management, but I'm a singer long enough to know, there are multiple scenarios that could happen. If you call in sick, it could happen that if the staging is quite complex, that a guest is brought in and you act on stage while the guest sings from the side of the stage. It could happen that they sent the guest a video, she or it or he watches the video and then does what he or she or it can on the evening. Also, what is done quite frequently is that if you're really not feeling well and no guest is found, you do sing, but Daniel, for example, will go in front of the curtain before the curtain rises and announce to the public that, Suzanne Schimmack unfortunately is not feeling well. She has agreed to take over the performance. Please excuse any, stuff can happen. And what I have experienced, that if you have no choice but to do that, the public mostly reacts very appreciative because they understand she is trying to get this thing done, and she's here and she's doing it, and so don't be afraid. Take care of precious things.
I agree, absolut. Und ich kann es nur unterstützen, also was du sagst.
Daniel is in support of what I said.
Yeah. Because it has also, the thing is, no singer likes it to be announced that the singer is not well. Why nobody likes that? Because after that you give your heart in your hand, and then people said, we didn't recognize everything sounds fine. Yeah, of course it sounds fine, because you try everything, and sometimes of course you feel bad, but it's really then no one hears it because it's a thing what is inside you. But this is the dilemma, what I always said when people said to me, and I did many Ansagen, because I know also managements and theater managements, administrations, they don't like to announce singers, yeah, because they said, well, the audience, and this is not good. And I found it from the psychologischen Moment, it's good to do it, because then the nerves of the singer are relaxed. And this, my opinion is, because of the announcement, he's able to relax, because he knows if something happened, and that gives him the power to go through. So, but the dilemma is, of course, that people came to me and said, why didn't you announce it? We didn't hear anything. And then I said, for an orchestra musician or anyone, or people who'd ask me, I said, well, you're lucky that you're not standing there, because if you have a cold, you can still play the fiddle in the pit. Yeah, but this is the reason why no singer likes it to be announced, because of this problem. But at the end, like Susan said, look, even if you don't feel well in the rehearsal time, let's say, the Bühnenorchesterproben, the stage rehearsal with orchestra, yeah, and you don't feel well, it's happened, yeah, because it's early in the morning, and people wanted to force you to sing out, and you not feel well. No one can tell you what you should do. You are the owner of your voice, no one else.
And nobody will give you a what is it called, a
reward.
Reward. Oh my God, you saved the performance. Thank you very much. They will go on with their lives. I can tell you from personal experience, in all of my years of singing, of professional singing, there was one performance where I had a shot of cortisone because I wanted, and it was Carmen, where I wanted to sing the performance because I was stupid. They could have easily found a guest. I was fine that evening, but I was out of business for 6 weeks because it takes a long, long time. It's not worth it.
No.
And
No.
so, if you are on the ensemble of a house, you will be paid your monthly fee, even if you're sick. If you're a freelancing guest, that is different, of course. If you don't sing, you don't make the money. But you might lose the money of that performance, but you might not lose money of the 3 or 4 or 5 performances coming afterwards in the run.
Absolutely.
Right? And your
Yeah.
Paris debut or whatever. So
Yeah. And one thing what you said, Susan, I can also say, never, I mean, this cortisone or what you take then, I mean, this is doping. Yeah. Look, if you're sick, there is an automatic thing what shows you, okay, I can't go over. Yeah. With cortisone, it's a doping. You don't have the safety security there. Yeah. And it says we know people who be on cortisone for many, many long time. And after that, you are worse
you are.
than without. So this is very dangerous. And I mean, thank God now, really at this time, there's so many natural products that you can take, or also some sprays which might be help, but don't get anyone to put a really hammer, as we said. Yeah, this is not worse. Absolutely not. And don't do that. Don't do that. Never, ever. Yeah, even then, I mean, there will be pressure. You need to prepare for that. But this is why it's important to have always people who you trust and who you can talk to it, because yeah, it's the time that not always people are taking care of you as an artist. Yeah, because they sometimes said, well, why can't you do that? We pay you for that. But they don't see it, that your instrument, and this is different to any musicians. Yeah, you are the instrument. Your whole body is the instrument. That's why it's also a very big responsibility to look after yourself, not only in the lesson by singing teachers, sondern physically. Yeah, physically, what you're eating. Yeah, and that's what I said. Don't get yourself judged by your body size. If you're a big girl or a big boy, yeah, and this is the stamina you need maybe for the certain repertoire you're gonna sing. Yeah, this is sometimes if you're a small girl or small man, this is also affecting what your voice might be developed. Yeah, so this is in a connection. You are there like you are, and people should take you as you are there. Yeah, and so this is on your way, and this never stops. Actually, the education never stops. Actually, your whole singer life, it's never stop. And if you think after you finish as a student, it's starting at zero. It's starting at zero. Yeah, it is like that. It is like that. So be open, get inspiration. Maybe also, Susanne, we were talking about that also, the old times. But at this time, I mean, YouTube, everything is on YouTube. Get some old records, old CDs. Yeah, go more on the listening. Get inspiration by singers, and I'm talking here 50 years ago backward.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Christa Ludwig died just now. Yeah, I mean, a voice like that, you will never have in the farther future. I don't know anyone from that. Yeah, also just of talking about emotional expression. Yeah, and this is what it means. And what I see is that many singers nowadays, over the last 20 years, they don't know. They don't know. They don't listen. No, not know, but they don't listen. They don't listen to the golden, as we said, the golden age, the golden voices. where people really has to say a lot, and where we have really, as especially in the last century, we had a bunch of beautiful voices. Yeah.
And keep in mind, I mean, 50, 60 years ago, it was just the beginning of digital recording. So you hear the quality of the voices is not as cosmetically, what shall I say, altered or prettied up. So this is also important. I mean, I could ask you right now, whom of you, when you sing, you record yourselves, whom of you likes the sound of your own voices? I have 2 recordings of my whole life where I go like, yeah, okay, I can live with that. And the rest, I'm like, oh, I wish I. So yeah, listen to people. It's Daniel said it. The voice is a living thing. It's not static. It's not dead. It's alive. It changes. It works. It's alive. And that is, I think, is a good way also to possibly look at your sound. We don't want a stiff, dead, plafonné sound. We want something that is glowing and alive and vibrant and juicy and whatever voice type and whatever repertoire you're in. We want life. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Axel, what do you think? Miriam, is it time for the question and answer
I
session?
think we should. It
I
is
think
21:16, so I think we should go for the question and answer sessions. Have people access to the chat? They
For
do.
the time being, the chat is quite silent.
So, any questions here? This is your once in a lifetime chance, guys. If not, you're going to have to bear with my questions again. You don't
no,
want.
there is one. There is Vasiliki
Vasiliki.
Chanu.
Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Can you
Thank you.
your camera?
I'm sorry, I have really bad connection, so it will be really worse if I put my camera. I don't know if you can hear me well.
Very good.
Okay. So hello, thank you for your wisdom, sharing your knowledge. I'm a lyric soprano, and I'm now 30 years old. And I started singing when I was 23, and still doing my second master in singing. And as such, I wanted to ask if age is a factor when you hire singers, and how does that affect you?
No, also unfortunately not, because for me, first of all, I mean, I don't count it on age. Either you have a good voice or you don't have it. Yeah, and especially now, by the European law, you don't have to say your age if you're worrying. Yeah, also, and also no one actually is allowed to ask you. Yeah, so this is also a thing. If you don't want, you don't need to let. Yeah, I think it's important. What I found important is the vitae, the bio, to see on one thing. With a photo, of course, how you look, sure, to have in the beginning, but also to see the repertoire, yeah, what you already studied, yeah, and on what kind of theaters you worked, yeah, to see, and there you also see then, okay, you might be now 30, you study, but if your voice knocks me off, then why? This is the reason to we hire you, yeah, not of age. I mean, there are so many examples. They're starting in the late mid 30s. Or age is no age is no thing. I think there are some careers they're starting with 24. Yeah, okay. This is if it's good, then it's good. But no, also age is.
Okay, from what I understood, I got the impression that you described a 30-year-old soprano as rather young for heavier roles. Is that right?
Well, I would agree. Also, I wouldn't allow you to sing a Mimi or a Violetta or a Butterfly or irgendwie something. No, this is a development where I said, no, you have to wait, but it depends how you developed. Also, as a beginner, yeah, I have to look. The audition is just a piano. We have to see then how you're doing with orchestra, yeah. If your voice is coming over the orchestra pit, yeah, and then normally I judge pieces by the voices I have. Also, someone told me when I was a kid, when sometimes, because I grew up in theater, and then sometimes why I get, of course, why sometimes things work, sometimes not. And I said, well, to have singers in ensemble is like with cooking. Either you want to cook cake or you want to pasta. So if you want to pasta, you need different ingredients than to do cake, right? So what I mean is, not every voice can do anything. If I do Italian repertoire or this repertoire, I can't hire people who have lighter voices and to sing Baroque. Yeah, so this is the thing. I make a decision that I see. Okay, the singers are hired. What kind of repertoire I choose, and not I have this. I wanted to play Aida, and I said, Vasiliki, you sing now Aida. Yeah. You will do it once and then not anymore. Okay?
Okay, thank you. That's good news for me.
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, we have questions. Oh, Alexandra Nygård. Hi, Alexandra. Good to see you. How are people usually invited to audition for a role, for an organization or for a house? Is it normal to come through an opera studio?
To get a job hired?
How are people usually invited? Yeah.
So no, well, it depends. Also, the thing is, either you when you finish, you can do it through agents, or you as we call informatives vorsingen. You can mail. I mean, this is a good thing with mails. You can say hello. I'm Alexandra, and this is my repertoire. Is a possibility of information auditions. It depends on the size of the houses. I mean, the big houses, the A houses, anyway, they don't do auditions because their planning is 3-4 years. But it depends. As a beginner singer, I would say you look for some agents, maybe, yeah. Or we have here also in Germany the ZAV. This is the unemployment workers. Also these are agents, but you don't pay permission there. This is also theaters works with them. Also they're based in Berlin, in Cologne, in Munich, Leipzig, genau. Also there you are registered then as a soprano or tenor, and maybe if a theater is asking for Vakanzen, or if a new administration came and they want to build up a new ensemble, they let them know, and then you get maybe an invitation, yeah, for singing. With opera studios, yeah, of course. I mean, Hamburg, Zurich, the big houses, Stuttgart also, they have some opera studios. And the good thing, or Düsseldorf, then is the good thing, of course, that you are learning smaller roles and be with smaller roles also on the big stage already. But sometimes it's also used because as a student, what can I say? But I have my different opinion. I mean, I have also connection, but I agree then rather to use a student than for production than to give him the full employment, yeah, which he can't do with the age. Also, I think the student time is important because it's a learning time. Yeah.
Super. Nancy is asking, no, actually, sorry, I skipped Amy. If a CV is lacking in professional experience, are people likely to take a chance in hiring the singer, regardless of how impressive an audition is?
Das habe ich nicht ganz verstanden. Was meint sie mit CV?
Wenn der Lebenslauf nicht besonders eindrücklich ist, aber das Vorsingen schon, ist es dir wichtig, was in dem Lebenslauf ist?
No, no, no. Also, if the audition is good, then and I see from the if the age is there or something, or I see then. I mean, you see in the CV if someone came from the finish his studium, and so you if you see that someone, let's say, become a professional 10 years ago, and then you see, okay, he was not, or she wasn't till in the last 10 years in 2 opera houses, and there are empty spaces. Okay, sometimes you become a mother, sometimes you have family, then maybe you ask. But for me, always is important if someone, how someone, if I like a voice, or if I'm interested in a voice.
Daniel, can we get married?
I'm already married.
Yeah, so
I thought you wanted to get married to me, Suzanne.
yeah, but that was yesterday. Today, so Nancy is asking, is there one or possibly multiple things that singers do even before an audition that make up the jury's mind about not hiring that singer? Gibt es irgendwas, was dich davon abhalten würde, einen Sänger zu engagieren, möglicherweise etwas, was vorher aufgetaucht ist, oder etwas, was du weißt über den Sänger, oder ist das
No, no. Also, I mean, this is, nee. Also, sometimes, I mean, at the time when I started to organize auditions, when I was even in the disponential thing, sometimes, of course, and you knew, and I tried always to give time slots, time slots to have a preparation with the pianist, time slots then when they have the audition, and also before, and someone turned up and said, hello, here I am, and 20 thing. Well, then sometimes you think, okay, but look, this has also to do with the person, with the personality. And no, also for me, and also if let's say that maybe someone told, well, there she or he is difficult because on a day of a performance she doesn't want to sing. This is for me personal. It's Bubkes, as we said, because this is I see it always individual, because I have also in my ensemble singers. They need, even on a day of performance, they need to work, they need to sing, and others are not. So I said I keep it really an individual thing, and I don't give about things when also, or when people said, well, don't, but this nothing happened. Also no one said you can't hire this one because of anything. Also these are rumors. I mean, the business is like it is, people smile in the face and think, and especially when you're good, when you're successful, this you have to take. You have to see it as a game. You have to see it as a game, and even when maybe sometimes the audience don't like it, it could be also happen. But on one hand, you should, if you have the feeling you give your best, then or even the critics, for example, we didn't talk about that, but if a critic, I mean, one advice I would like to give you 2, because I think it's also psychological better. If you're in a production and you're still in a production,
do not read the reviews.
No, do it after you finish the production, because as an emotional human being, no one likes to read something bad about. I myself also not, or if you misunderstand, and of course it makes something with you, and you're thinking, then keeping your mind, what did I wrong? So or you're getting angry about what someone wrote, So also, if you want to read the crit, do it maybe after, or let other people think. This is a thing sometimes, because it could infect you, of course, you wanted to, you wanted to have a premiere. You worked 6 weeks, and now you read, and then you read. This is also the tragic. For the last 15, 20 years, they're talking about everything. Yeah, musician, this and this, and then one sentence. Yeah, Susanna in Figaro's Hochzeit. I mean, this is the longest part. I mean, it's the longest part. You work off your back the whole evening. Lucky at the end after 3.5 hours to sing the Rosenarie, and then you're one sentence. And the Cherubino, who sang 2 arias, get the applause. This happened. This is life, but
It's the business.
yeah.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about singers that are Zwischenfach? Is it harder for these voice types? Hi, Charlene.
Harder for what? To find roles?
Find work, to be hired. Yeah.
Why? I mean, the range is much bigger. I mean, the possibility, personal. I mean, if you have Leontine Preis, Leontine Preis, I think everyone knows her. I mean, this is a soprano. I mean, she sang the Spinto-Fach. You're surprised that Mrs. Price sang also a Carmen, because she has a natural dark voice, yeah? And a Carmen do not always need to be a mezzo. Also, it depends. But this is the joy. This is the joy to bring up pieces and operas, because as I said, it's not only 4 Fächer. At the end, die Zwischenfach, you have 25 Zwischenfächer, and it depends also on your development, on your personal development, how your voice growing up or not, and what kind of repertoire a house brings. Yeah, also it's no.
Perfect. Now, very smooth way to get into the next question. How old should you be to sing Carmen?
Look, Carmen is a special. I mean, it's not a matter of age, because it's an opera comic. It's not a. I mean, you have some moments where it is. It has to do, of course, with a physically thing, and of course, it's a leading role and what to do. Auch here, again, it has nothing. I mean, if your voice, if you have a rich voice, and if your voice is strong enough, and you have the condition to be a Carmen, yeah, it's the same as Don Giovanni. If your preparation is like that, then it's not matter of age. It's not matter of age, yeah, to sing, because I would count it then, and this is also a thing. Don't get it wrong. To sing heavier repertoire in smaller houses, it's not always easier, because you think that the orchestra is smaller, especially let's say it with Wagner. Yeah, most of the Wagner singers told me it's much more difficult to sing in a reduced orchestra than in a big orchestra, because the composer built up and so this is not always what the size of the orchestra is the noise the orchestra made it, yeah, and the auditorium. Also, when you mention that you have to sing and to produce so much sound, and this is what costs you energy, and what's retires you, yeah, to recover your voice. It has always to do to recover, to give your voice the time to recover from a show. Yeah, this is the thing where you should be looking where you're going to sing and what kind of house you are hired. Yeah,
and also keeping in mind, of course, it's as you get older, the body needs more time. The muscles need more time to recuperate. When you're young, everything is very flexible. You get over a physical trauma quite quickly. As you get older, that's the nature of the human body. You need longer. So therefore, there is a reason why most of us start singing the really heavy repertoire when they're older, because they have the knowledge, they have the training, they have the self assessment, and also they will have a way of claiming their time and their space between performances. Right?
Exactly. I mean, at the end, the vocal cords are muscles. They're 2 muscles, and if you overspanch them, and even when you're young and you said, wow, fantastic, I'm gonna sing Butterfly now, and yeah, as a young singer you can do that, but the problem is your muscle, it's like a rubber, yeah. They're getting, you know, you take a rubber, you expand it, so, and you're getting over then your career. As a young, when they're young, they're flexible, they get back. But if you try to force, then they stay like that, and then you have a wobble. Yeah, you can't control your breathing. A very important thing is, from a technique, this I understand is, and what I hear is, the breathing technique. You need to be a good singer. To be a good singer is to be a master of controlling your breathing, the breath always, because either you're nervous or how and this is the thing, you don't build breath here, it's coming from very deep there, and this is always the thing what I see also now, what I hear in young voices, the breathing technique, a beautiful color of voice, but then you hear a tremolo because the breath is going because they never learn to control their breathing, and this is a very thing you should work very parallel to your technique and to your coloratura or whatever technique thing, but never forget to learn how to breathe and to control your breathing. So you have really to produce sound where people, I mean, there I can also say, watch Leontyne Price, go on YouTube, Messa di Requiem, yeah, from 68 with Karajan. You see young Pavarotti, Fiorenzo Cosotto, Gyaurov, but watch Leontyne Price singing there. You don't see where she breathes. And look what kind of sound she produced. Yeah, also this is what I mean. You should get inspired by those masters. Yeah, they're really masters.
They are. Nancy is asking, can a stage director force a singer to do something they feel uncomfortable with? A concept, staging, costume, nudity, etc. Can you flat out refuse, or how to make sure it doesn't cross boundaries?
Boundaries and
Grenzen.
yeah. Well, look, in the rehearsal period, normally you should be in dialogue. Yeah. Also, if for me as a director, it was always important. I mean, of course, you can say, okay, do this or this, but I think it's the same as a conductor. You should find a way together. I mean, it has not. It's always the thing. If someone came with a concept and said, yeah, the Mimi should be like that, the Giovanni should be like that, the Carmen like that, but it turned out that during if a director doesn't know you and the rehearsal period is too short, that he doesn't know your character, he doesn't know you how you are when he first time work with you. So I found it always important that you tell, of course, your opinion of a character. Of course, that's why there's rehearsal there, and you at the end you should have to fill it. Yeah, and on some point you probably know about your role more than the director because you are trained in singing. But one thing is also important, not only your role. You should also, in ensemble Stück, as Figaro, Nozze di Figaro or Giovanni, there are sometimes in ensemble 6 characters around you. You should know about everything. And if then the thing is, look, if a director wants you something that you don't want to do, then be in discussion of that, and no one to be naked or irgendwann. As if this is a fear, no one can tell this is the concept. I don't want to do it. You must do that. And this is especially in our time now. But also I remember the time before. This is the thing. If anyone force you to do things that you don't want to do, and it's the same with conductor, by the way, yeah. If he force you, and sometimes you have a heavier voice, yeah, you need time to get your breath up, and he try to do in a presto, prestissimo, tac tac tac, because he won't make special sounds. Like Susanne said, it makes no sense to please him because you're not able to do it. Yeah. And as I said, see it as boxing. If you have someone, a fight, Klitschko in the heavyweight with many kilos lighter, you can't do that. Yeah. A bird can't swim and the fish can't fly. It's on, put it on this way. So here also learn from the beginning to tell your opinion. Yeah. Listening, but tell your opinion. Try things out. This is why we rehearse, not to tell anyone come from the left to the right. This I can tell in 1 hour. Yeah, you can stage an op.
You're a director, and you
Yeah.
know other directors, and you know we have those, right? Now,
Of course.
I just remembered something, Daniel, because you said nobody can make you do anything you don't want to. Do you remember Magic Flute, the three ladies? And
Yeah.
I was the third lady, and I was the biggest one, and nobody had boobs, and I had the biggest boobs. And on my costume, on top of my boobs, they put two big plastic boobs, and I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy. And then I said one night, I sat in my dressing room with a pair of scissors, and I cut out the plastic boobs before the dress rehearsal. And I walked out with no boobs and said, "What happened?" And I said, "Yeah, they fell off. I don't know."
Yeah. No, but Susan, to be honest, I mean, like anything, if you're facing, look, this is in any work situation. If you have a problem at work or something, you don't feel treated well, and first of all, you should talk to the person. Either is it the conductor, the director, the assistant, whatever. You should talk, get in contact. And if you have the feeling they're not listening, then you go to the boss and tell there. And look, I have a problem. Can we talk? Yeah. Also, don't be shy of that. Also, the worst thing is to be silent or to do things where you're not überzeugt. Well, at the end, it's reflecting your action on stage. Yeah. But this is really it's a working process. No?
Just one last thought on that. Keep in mind, you're working to the opening night, and after the opening night, the director leaves, and then you're left with that. So try to clean or to clear these things as long as you can before you don't have a chance anymore. Okay. Well, I think we spoke about a lot of things today. I do not see any more questions in the chat, which I find quite surprising because I could go on forever, but that's just, me. Are you guys sure nothing else to talk about? You would like to twist Daniel's arm to know? Axel? Amy. Oh, here she Go, Amy.
Hi, sorry, just a quick one. In the beginning, you said, you mentioned Gilda, and it could be maybe too early to sing it, but to bring it to an audition anyway, if it shows off a lot of the voice. So what's the furthest that should be pushed? Not pushed, but what's the biggest role you should bring outside of what you are ready to sing right now?
Well, this it's hard to say. This you can't say it for everything. It depends really. I mean, if your voice fill an aria, what it should sound like, and from the technique, from everything, from color, and you don't have the feeling you have to force your voice to present the aria, then it should be fine. Yeah. Also you can't, it's not, if you feel good, let's say for the Gilda, I mean, for this is also then a personal taste. Yeah. So I prefer more lyric voices who sing Gilda than lighter coloratura voices. Yeah. So I prefer more, let's say, a Callas voice than a Gruberova voice, yeah, for example, yeah. Also this is a taste thing, but it has nothing to do with yourself, yeah. When yourself is, you need to. The thing is, sometimes a singer think, I love this aria, I'm gonna sing, but the size of the voice is not able to sing the aria because with the piano, the voice come over the pit, but with an orchestra, no chance, because it's too light. It's, yeah, this is the thing where you have to look, what I said, with a teacher, what kind of repertoire might be your voice developed, yeah? Also, this is always the question, and to judge in what kind of, I am a lyric soprano, I'm a soubrette, I'm a soprano coloratura, yeah? This is a thing where sometimes this is, I mean, when you start singing with 15, 16, there is it, of course, you don't go in the opera scores, of course not. Yeah, you go in songs and stuff like that. But in the opera thing, after a while, maybe you get a feeling what kind of singer, what kind of voice type you are. Yeah. Sometimes they make people, they were in the wrong Fach. People turn out they're starting as a mezzo and they become a soprano. Yeah, I mean, with Susanne, we know always in her early years she will end up as a dramatic soprano because of the natural color of the voice. It was always a big voice. Yeah, so this is clear. But on other voices, it's complete different. Yeah, how a voice developed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, Daniel said it earlier. He said, you know, the aria does not necessarily represent the role.
No.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the difficult on people love Violetta. Everyone loves Traviata. Yeah. The difficult on Violetta is you need for every act a different voice. Yeah. This is the first act, you need this, the second act, this, the last one, this. This is really, really difficult, yeah, to see, and this is also to have a condition, the physical condition, to run, to create a role, yeah. This is what I mean with emotional, yeah. Mimi or Tosca has also so much in. That's why even for that's why you have this spinto soprano thing, because you need a certain technique, you need a certain power and expression to go through to this partie, yeah, and the same is with the other Fächer, yeah. So you should really, they're really good. I mentioned it to Susanne. There's some good about German Fachrepertoire where you can see where all the composers are, where you see all the different Fächer. And very good explanation by a singer.
Yes, I can put that. I can, if you guys, perfect opportunity to say, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will be happy to put that information for you on there. Okay, it's Music Talks, both on Instagram, on Facebook, you know that already, but also on our YouTube channel, which also gives you opportunity to watch the previous editions we have done that also were very, very interesting. Yes, I think there is another question.
Yeah.
When you are working as a fest singer, and Sophie, when you are working as a fest singer and then you get pregnant after pregnancy, will you automatically continue working, or you need to prove that you can still work?
No, this is, as in Germany, it's automatic. I mean, if you're pregnant and the contract, I mean, still goes. You can't, this is not, you're still in the job. And of course, after pregnancy, what we know, or what I know from colleagues, is it could take a certain time that you get your, it's a change for your body, as I said, probably to give birth, probably maybe you have to rebuild your technique, yeah. What we know is that of course birth reflects, of course, in a positive way, the color of your voice, of course. I mean, but this is I think for women always different anyway than for men's, because hormones, it depends always the sound of things. This is what I said. This is it's not there, the voice, and this is a whole process through your whole retired life. Yeah. So no, but there is no worry, as in Germany, no worry. I mean, if you're a fast contract and you're pregnant, then you tell, and then the Arbeitsschutz send you control that you not get too much noise from the orchestra. You're protected, and no problem, of course. And yeah.
Good questions, huh? I mean, all these questions never go anywhere because.
No, of course.
Well, I think there's a lot of food for thought. I think we might have some more comments and questions in the aftermath, when people have had a week or a day or a night to consider and make, come up with their own thoughts. Daniel, what can I say? Thank you. As always, a pleasure. I owe you a bucket of wine. I owe you a bucket of wine and
Belgic pralines.
Oh, you can have those anytime. So next time we see each other in Augsburg or wherever it may be, I owe you, but I always owe you. Thank you guys for joining. Just put on the cameras briefly, and this is how we applaud on Zoom. So show your faces and give Daniel hands up, and let's see who was there.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
It was fun.
I will send you a quick message right now, and then we can have a little chat, okay?
Okay.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Join us on
all the best. Good luck for your career, and stay healthy, and be positive. Be positive, and especially in that time. No, it's if you're gonna make it, it's really the best job what you can ever do, and the enjoyment and the arts. It's so important, and it will be, especially at this time with this pandemic. It will be. I mean, there will be a big thing. That the arts will build up the society, and so no, I'm looking forward to hear from you, and probably to see you sometime also live.
Thank you.
Okay.
Talk soon. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.